Welcome to 5 Pints In, where we are literally 5 pints in. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
So, we're a little lonely this episode, aren't we? It's just the three of us.
Well, mate, I'm actually not because, the people in England listening, I know they're still on lockdown and all that, and they haven't relaxed any of the laws or the rules and that, but as it happens in Florida, we've been allowed out, and I realise how much I fucking hate people. Honest to God, I've got more chance of surviving stuck in my apartment with coronavirus than driving on the frigging roads here with all the mental cases.
Yeah.
I've been out a couple of times having a game of golf, and I've realised that I don't miss it at all, and I'd rather be locked in my house.
Yeah, but saying that, do you not miss the last few episodes we did with Dickie and Trev? Like, it felt like you were with them a little bit. I mean...
No.
No?
I'm actually glad we're not sitting for 4 hours. I don't think we could have picked two worse guests to be the first ones on it, mate. Stories galore, and obviously both like a pint. And I'll be honest with you, mate, it was actually to cut it into two sections was brilliant, because it sort of gave us a quiet week where we only did the intro to part two.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, I needed it.
Yeah.
I was laughed out, I was drunk out, and it's actually a relief just to get back to normal. I mean, there will be more guests, but I think we'll have to modify. We can't go mad partying every Sunday. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what Sorry, go ahead.
It's going to have its effects on you in the long run. I don't know how your livers are, mate, but
mine's terrible.
A little bit.
Mine's terrible. After we do this every Sunday, every Monday I wake up with a sharp pain in my liver.
But it must be funny for you two, because you're talking to people that you obviously watch play when you were playing, and the good thing is about it is you've been brought up around characters. So all my sort of friends and the people I latched onto during my playing days were all the people who like to go and have a pint and do stupid things to each other, So, you've always been brought up around them type of people, and now you're actually interviewing them.
I mean, that's the funny thing. We knew Trevor, we knew Dickie, we knew the likes of Trevor Sinclair and all that. We knew them more growing up, and then watched them later play, because obviously we were kids when we saw them, so we knew them personally before we actually got to see them fully.
I mean, it was a good idea, to have guests on. It is a good idea to have guests on. You're going to hear all sorts of different stories and different takes, and they are going to put me in the shit a little bit. And,
rightfully so.
I think people think my life wasn't anything to do with football. It was just shaving people's eyebrows and
I wonder why.
Food and
jamming
them in the wall. Upside down.
I don't think you're doing anyone any favors by doing this podcast, though, because that's what most of the popular stories are on this.
Well, to be fair, mate, we started the podcast to talk about football, didn't we?
Yeah.
Until this virus.
Until football ended.
Well, I know, yeah. But it's. I mean, look, I'm enjoying it. But if I remember rightly, and I'll tell you the truth, I haven't listened to the second part of Trev's, because I know when I listened to the first one, we were just starting to get to that drunk stage.
Yeah.
And I did, like the one I did when I was in England, I've never listened to it.
I mean, well...
I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, well, that one was different, but I was editing the Trev video, and I was cracking up myself, even though I was there. But just the stories were hilarious, and we won't harp on too much about past episodes, because obviously a lot of people listening, have heard them. But it's just funny to hear you. I think people appreciate the inside football sort of thing, a lot.
It's the bit that they don't get to see.
Exactly, like a lot of people saw you on the pitch and saw Trev on the pitch and saw Dickie on the pitch, and And
it was all business. It was all business.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch us play, it was all business.
But the podcasts were not business at all.
It's like
what's the opposite of all business? It's
like
but mind your own business.
Yeah, it's mind your own
It's like watching the Osbournes, where you find out how crazy everyone actually fucking is. You know,
Sharon.
Was it Michael Strong's mum used to call us the Bishbournes?
Yeah, the Bishbournes. Yeah.
Bishbournes, yeah.
I mean, really.
Who was Aussie, by the way? It had to be me, didn't it?
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously, because we
yeah. I don't even know why you asked that question.
All right, Jack.
Who was the one that was incoherent?
If he's Jack, then what am I, Kelly?
Yeah. You're the little fat bird.
Yeah.
She's not now, if you've seen her, by the way.
No?
No.
I haven't
still
seen
got
it.
a bit of a pan face, though.
All right.
It doesn't matter. She's lost a bit of weight. She's still got a pan face. Anyway, you're just talking about that, though. I was thinking, because last week was the anniversary of the City Blackburn game. You know, I think we covered it a little bit with Dickie, but I wanted to delve into it because it doesn't really get a mention because of what happened at Wembley the season before. But it just brought back memories of, you know, you're talking about the lads and the people that you grew up around.
Yeah.
I remember there wasn't a time when I was playing at City the second time, when yous turned up, there wasn't a time that Mark Kennedy and Jeff Whitley wouldn't come up to you and sort of babysit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two young lads who were forever partying at the time.
Yeah.
Two young lads who didn't have kids themselves, and yet when you two turned up, they made a beeline over to you and sort of took care of you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
While we were having a pint.
Yeah, I remember being at I don't remember what it was for. It must have been 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever it was, and we were at this big fancy hotel. Don't have no clue what it was for, but the Man City was celebrating, yeah. And Jeff Whitley and Mark Kennedy came over to us. I remember the first you and Mum walked up to us and goes, "Hey, I want you to meet our lesbian friends." And it was this young couple, and they just started making out in front of us, and we were like, okay, we have no idea what's going on. And then Jeff Whitley and Mark Kennedy came up to us and goes, "Hey, let's go play Tig over there." And then that's pretty much all I remember. And then we ran off with them, and we're like, all right, forget that, we don't need to see two young girls making out. We're gonna go play Tig with the rest of these. And we ran about the whole hotel with Mark Kennedy and Jeff Whitley, and it was I remember it perfectly. It was one of the best times of my life.
Well, I don't know whether it was that celebration after that game, because I remember we got to the town hall and we were on the microphone. On the chairman, Bernstein, was on the microphone addressing all the City fans that were out in the square. I mean, there was thousands of them, and I just came outside, took the mic off, and started singing Blue Moon.
Who's the Norwich owner?
Did you know the lyrics?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The Norwich owner, the what's her name? The woman. She came out and she was drunk as fuck during half time, and she came out and said, "We're gonna beat these boys." That's how I picture how he was.
Are you talking after 99 or the 2000 game, the Blackburn game?
No, the 2000 game, the Blackburn.
The Blackburn game, yeah, because it gets.
We should have been 4-0 down at half time. We needed a draw.
Yeah.
To get promotion to the Premier League.
It's funny.
Should have. They had the bar 4 times.
Yeah. So yeah, it's.
I mean, that night after that, you know, the town hall. I don't think we went to bed. I don't think anyone went to bed. We just carried on drinking through the night.
What do you feel like? What sticks out in your mind as the bigger game? Because obviously the bigger game to, I think, just the world is the 99 game. But obviously the 2000 game is. I mean, that's to a bigger league. I mean, you've got yellow and yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
To get to the Premier League, mate, was everything, wasn't it? Because, you know, I'd left West Ham in the Premier League to step down 2 divisions, and I was quoted in the press as saying, "I've come back to get this club back to where it belongs." And because people thought I was mad to step down 2 divisions, I wasn't past it.
Yeah.
At West Ham, you know, I'd just been going through a bit of a difficult time trying to get in the team with Harry, and obviously you've heard by the stories he didn't like my lifestyle, so.
the stories, and I mean, I think I remember growing up hearing shit about Harry, and I don't know.
He did say to me about my testimonial, didn't he? He did say, "Yeah, we'll give you the year for your testimonial, but I don't want you to have any dues. I don't want you to have any golf days, any dinners, any functions, which is a lot of your money that you're entitled to." And I said, "Well, it's like me saying to you, give me 250 grand." No?
Yeah, it's like asking a fish not to breathe through its gills.
Yeah.
But it was like what he said to me, why don't you be like the foreign lads and just have a glass of wine with your meal?
And not be able to speak English.
And I said, well, I grew up in a council estate, and I have a frigging glass of wine with me.
And you said, I've got a podcast to make in 20 years. Where are the stories going to come from?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, but that night and that day, the game, I mean, it's similar to the Wembley for me, because I only came on at half time when we were 1-0 down. Whereas, you know, I came on sort of the last 30 minutes and played the last 30 minutes and the extra time at Wembley. I came on at half time, and I'll be honest with you, I mean, I didn't have a direct hand in any of the goals, but I did get us playing again, and I know that's why Joe put me out there, you know. And I've had some nice tweets over the last week from everyone listening. If you have, you know, thanks so much. I mean, it still is appreciated even today. You know, it's nice because you're a long time finished, and it's still nice to be remembered and to be appreciated after all these years. And then when you do see clips of the game, it brings it all back like it was yesterday, you know. And I look at that dressing room, that bunch of lads, and I think, you know, and I did say it on my Twitter, I was blessed, you know, to have been part of something like that with a club like that, and to be really part of the club's history now, and whatever they've done since, you know, we're still remembered. Obviously, if the Wembley one didn't happen, then the Blackburn one couldn't have happened. So in terms of importance, then you're switching back again. You know, you're saying to get into the Premier League was massive, but that doesn't happen if the Wembley one doesn't happen before it. So maybe I have to go with the Wembley one.
I think that's probably why, like, supporters of sort of like iconicized that Wembley one, you know, like I'm sure there's they've followed that back and realized that, like, how important that was, and it was the root, it was the seed of that next game against Blackburn. But it's just funny, like, so like the yellow, like as a City fan, like the yellow and black stripes, yellow and dark blue stripes, it's like that's iconic. The red and black stripes as a City fan is also iconic too, but not as iconic, even though they've worn it over many years.
That was their away kit in 2012 though as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the red and black, so them bringing it back.
None of it happened in the blue though, you know?
No,
it's just the City colours.
But that's the way City do it, isn't it? It's out of the colours, down and out, like it's just the City way.
I mean, it's funny, look, because I also was involved in a couple of promotions with West Ham, and being in the dressing room, you know, when that game finishes and you realise what you've achieved, you know, you got two choices. You stay sober, miss the fun and remember it all, or you just run with it, and as soon as you get in that dressing room, the champagne opens and you're drunk from that minute on, and there's no going back, and then you open your eyes in the morning and you really don't remember much about it, you know.
Yeah.
Until 20 years later when it's the anniversary and people start posting the videos.
See, it's funny.
That's the thing with Dickie. Dickie was always my memory. him and Sean Goats. I know we've stressed before that you don't trust people who don't drink, but Goats, he was our memory. So he was always with us. Don't get me wrong. Even though he didn't drink, he would always come out, and he had that big smile. And you'd always go to him the next day and say, "What did I do?" Because he would be the one that remembered everything, you know.
Well, he'd be a good one to get on the podcast then, so we'd have more.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
we'd probably get some stories out of him.
Have factual stories,
yeah. And he is a City legend as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
We signed at the same time. He came from Bristol City, and it wasn't really a name, you know. And he made himself a name for what he did for that club, you know.
Yeah.
And such the nicest man. Honestly. Anyway, we don't want to talk about good people.
See, I just want to say it's funny because every time we go back to England, obviously when we were growing up through England, people would talk about you and they would come up to us. I mean, maybe not you, Jordan, but they would come up to me and talk about Dad. I'll go, oh, shit.
Dad's been arrested again.
Yeah. No. But the few times that they complimented you, I'll go, oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that. But, no, ever since about 7 years ago, whatever, when we've been going back to England, and they do compliment you, like you're with us in the pubs, and
weird.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm with you.
No, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
whatever.
we let you in.
Yeah, whatever. We're with you or whatever, and then obviously we're spending the whole day in the pub, whatever, with all the fans or whatever, West Ham fans, Man City fans, whatever. Yeah. And then me and Jordan break off into our own sections, and it's always been like we were taught, like there would be a group of people that I was with that would we would talk shit about you, but we would talk shit about you because we knew how good you were, that we were able to talk shit about you, you know. You're like everyone knew just exactly what you did, all the great things that you did, that they were able to talk down on you, and that's what I love. Because I hate people just coming up and saying, "Oh, your dad's amazing. Your dad did this. Your dad did all that." I love the people that come back and say, "Oh,
but he missed the shot.
Yeah, he played terrible this game. He played terrible this game in 1993." And I'm like, "Oh, I love that you remember that. Please tell me more. Tell me more."
Yeah. Connor actually goes out. Connor actually goes out searching for those people.
Yeah, honestly, I got a Reddit page and a Craigslist.
He's like, who knows this and that. Yeah. That's funny, but
I don't mind a bit of banter, you know me.
No, because Dad, I hate to say it, but I'll defend you to Earth's End. So
you'll let it go so far, and then you turn.
Yeah, until I bring out football in the pub, and then I'm like, come on, let's go 5-a-side.
Mate, that's why I've never shaved your eyebrows off.
And that's why I've never shaved yours off. To be fair.
But do you think there's a reason, like the yellow? I mean, I keep saying yellow and black, but I am colorblind, and I keep being told it's dark blue.
I thought it was yellow and black.
I know there's a light blue stripe in between, but Dad, you keep telling me it's yellow and dark blue.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
All right. No, there is a light blue stripe in it.
Yeah, but it's yellow and black.
Do you remember when we were kids and we?
I mean, like I said, I'm colorblind. I'm not just making this shit up. Like I'm literally like it looks yellow and black to me.
Do you remember when we were kids and we had a football garden.
Yeah.
And we had
back.
We had about 50 balls in the. I don't know what you're laughing at.
You know what I'm laughing at?
No.
All right, this has nothing to do with the podcast, but this is the funniest thing that anyone's ever going to hear on this podcast. So, Dad, when you were at City and we lived in Southport.
Birkdale.
Oh, we lived in Birkdale. Like, this has nothing to do with football, but it's.
Are you going to tell your story, or am I going to tell?
I'm going to tell my story.
Why do I not know what you're going to say?
I don't know what Jordan's going to say.
So me and Connor were playing football, right, out back, which we did every single day, as we would,
all
right?
hours of the day.
And we had a goal down the end of the garden, and I remember I was wearing the white Eidos Man City shirt. You know, the white one had like no color in it.
Beautiful, yeah.
And I must have like scored, and Connor was a goalie because that's what I told him to do. And I scored on him, and then like we got in a fight, and he ran inside, and he was running back, and I ran back, and then he turned around and he looks at me and he goes, "You're a fucking lesbian."
Oh, no! You got this story wrong.
And then all I hear is, "Excuse me," from you, Dad.
No. You got this story wrong.
That's 100% what happened.
No.
That's 100%
what happened was. So there was a big goal at the end of the garden, and then there was a little goal at the front end of the garden, and in the front end of the garden, 10 yards behind it, there was a pond.
You
kicked the ball into the pond about 5 fucking times. and I had to go get it every fucking time.
Yeah,
and there
of
was
course.
fish in there, like catfish.
Yeah.
And there was big fish in there.
They were carp. They were
Carp fish, sorry. Whatever they were twice the size of me. And I finally...
goldfish, mate.
Yeah, honestly, they did nothing in fucking goal. But honestly, Jordan kicked the ball into that pond about 5 times. I was getting pissed. I was about 5 years old. I didn't know what getting pissed was. And then finally, the 5th time I've gone in there, I fell into the pond.
Oh, was that the same day?
A fish has gone through my shorts and like swam through it, and Jordan thought I was drowning.
You're just trying to make an excuse.
No.
I think this was a different day. I think this was a different day.
Listen, I promise. The fish has gone through my shorts. It's the weirdest feling I've ever felt in my fucking life.
I remember.
Jordan pulled me out. No.
Hunk of fish, anyway.
Yeah, but they were big enough, though. That's the thing. He's gone, hold on, what's this big ass fucking fish in here? And then he's backed out. No, but Jordan's pulled me out, and I'm already heated. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then
was it, by the way?
Yeah, I was about
3 years old.
I don't think this was the same day. I don't think it was the same day.
This was the same exact thing. You got the worst fucking memory ever.
I do. But I just remember you looking at me, yelling at me, and I remember Dad behind you.
I know.
Going, hey, get the fuck inside.
No. You know what the thing was? I'll tell you.
Jordy, you got no chance, have you? Fucking worst memory.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I promise you. Jordan.
But I'll edit this podcast like a motherfucker.
Jordan helped me out the pond. And I go, and I'm screaming at him. And then Mum comes down the stairs and goes...
like the cartoons where you got fish hanging out, you jump in.
Yeah. No, listen. Mum comes downstairs, she takes the ball away from us, and then she runs back upstairs. Me and Jordan are still yelling at each other. I've got my back to the house, and me and Jordan are yelling at each other. And I look at him. I haven't said one swear word this whole time. And I go... And I didn't know what it meant. And I go, you fucking lesbian. And then I turn around.
No, all you hear is, hey.
Yeah, all you hear is, hey. And I turn around
you
and
get the fucking side.
Yeah, you're hanging out the window and you're like, you're getting the fucking side. I'm like, oh shit. Did I just, what is a lesbian? Did I just call him the worst word ever? And then I go inside and then...
I don't know how we got to this, but
yeah. And I found out what a lesbian was. I found out what a lesbian was 8 years later, and I'm like,
you said it had nothing to do with football, but it has got something to do because you were playing footy in the garden.
Yeah, but my point is, why is the yellow and black stripes? Why are they so much more iconic than the red and black? You know, which is what you guys were wearing when you scored against Blackburn and went to the Premier League.
Ever.
You know,
both my favorite kits ever.
You know what, mate? I'd have obviously never recognised that kit, the yellow. Obviously, the red and black with Man City is synonymous over the years, but the yellow one wasn't. I don't know where it all came about, to be honest with you. I do know that when they won, what year was it? 2 years ago, they paid tribute to that kit.
Yeah.
With the same colour.
It was a dark blue with the thin yellow stripes. Yeah.
But it was a tribute to that day and what we did.
I mean,
I think it's great that a club like that can do that.
Do you remember
and recognise it?
Do you remember? Like I said earlier, we had like 25 balls in our greenhouse or Wendy house, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and whatever it was, and
that was Kelly Osborne's. She was little, and
we had a bunch of yellow balls that we would play with when it was cold and it was snowing out, and you said you had to borrow it for training. Do you remember that?
No, like Man City didn't. It wasn't that bad off back then, mate.
All right. Whether you took it and you just booted it over the wall, I don't know, but I swear on my life,
I don't remember that.
You took one of our favorite balls that we would play with. And it was yellow, and you were like, we need this for training. And whether you just booed it away or not.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, right?
It was a really good ball. I think I sold it for beer money.
Yeah, right?
We wasn't on that much back then.
Now, how many pints does this get me?
So,
all right,
anyway.
I guess I just found something out then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been telling all my friends that you used that in like a fucking game on Main Road or something, but I guess not.
I'm sure that's not. I'm sure. I'm sure that's not what happened.
I'll go fuck myself.
I'm sure that's not what happened.
I must be honest. When I first signed back there, we did use yellow balls for the home games anyway. There was that League 2 used the yellow balls, I think.
Yeah, I'm talking about 99 right now.
Yeah, around about then, 98, 99.
Yeah.
So you're not wrong there, Con, and I did sell it for beer money. Sorry.
Anyway, Dickie scoring that goal against Blackburn was 4-1.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
He had to. The last goal, he had to cap it off. And I was looking at them pictures that came out, mate, and we'll tweet some this week. It just brings it all back, you know, and with it being the anniversary, 20 years, mate. It seems.
Yeah.
It's frightening to think that them years have just flown by.
It's historical, though.
Yeah, it is, mate. It's obviously lovely, and it's something that will never go away because there will be the 25 anniversary, the 30, whatever. Hopefully, I'm still around to still smile when people tweet it out there or whatever it'll be in the future.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah, well, yous will as well, and you know, like I said, I've got all my shirts ready for you to sort out and put on.
Yeah, I've actually swapped out a few of those because.
my spare shirt from Wembley. One of the lads who tweets me all the time. He's got. Well, he must have everything. Man City shirts. His Twitter name is. He's just got my spare shirt that I swapped with Patty. Remember Mark?
Mark Patty. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got in touch with Patty, and Patty sorted out the shirt for him. Which he's going to send me his original for you two to have as well. So I'll have my original that I wore and his original that he wore because I had his spare shirt.
I think that shirt, like we've got a decent studio collection, but that shirt takes place over. I mean, at least.
You already got that shirt, or is it still here with me?
No, I think it's still there with you. Yeah, if it was here, I've got one of your blue shirts.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah,
yeah, I've got one of your blue Edo shirts.
It takes place over any Chelsea shirt, apparently. So.
Well, yeah, because fuck that.
But I see 5.
I've
Man
got
City shirts and 1 West Ham. So.
No, you see 4 and 2 West Ham.
Oh,
you see 4 City, 2 West Ham.
Yeah. Blue. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just keep building the wall with it.
Yeah, but
so we completely can completely replace Chelsea.
I am a little bit pissed off though. I didn't manage to get my number 4 from '89 and my Bournemouth number 10 and any of my Carlisle shirts. Obviously, back then you could get shirts because
that would be.
I've looked online. Myself,
I mean, I saw someone actually posted on Twitter that there was. I don't know if you saw that, Dad, but someone posted on Twitter that there was a West Ham shirt away. The blue and white one.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any Bournemouth or Carlisle shirts of yours, I don't know if that would be
not
if you would have given them away
to donate,
or not.
But to post, you know,
just like post them.
It shows that the support. You know, we're not asking for them, just to show that you support us.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. But we'll get the Yellow City shirt up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, maybe now with the lockdowns, I may have a drive up, come and see you again.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen you in what? 3, 4, 5 months? 6 months?
Months? No, I think
it's been months.
No. I think 3 months at most,
2 months
dude.
at the most, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's been more than that.
We haven't seen you since England.
No.
What?
No.
Oh yeah, and I was there for 3 weeks, wasn't I?
When was that? February?
That's 9. Yeah. That's.
We haven't seen you since January.
No, not February. Was he?
All right, don't tell everybody.
All right, anyway.
All right, whatever.
No, he's here with us in the studio. That's how good the quality is. Anyway.
Tell everyone to don't come and visit me.
So,
forgot your name.
Oh, I do want to plug as well. We'll be on the Manchester is Blue podcast. If in case any of you listen to them, we're going to jump on.
Coming Saturday, is it? Coming Saturday or Sunday? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know when they're going to post it, but we'll be on there.
Either way,
within the next week.
Either way, I'm going to hold my tongue. And
well, yeah.
For somebody else, yeah, you can say what you want on ours, mate, but
well,
be nice.
I mean, to be fair, just say what you want. But
I know I will. But to be be fair, I have nothing positive to say about City within the last 20 years.
But you don't have any negative to say about them either.
That's what I'm saying.
You just said you had nothing positive to say about them.
I said I have nothing but positive to say about them. Yeah.
Well, that's a weird way to say it.
I have nothing but positive to say about City.
So
there was a meeting today, wasn't there? Any outcome of the meeting?
So there was, but let me just harp on this whole 20th anniversary thing, right? Let me just roll into that,
which is crazy, by the way.
So yesterday, I sent you this text. Actually, it was May 11th. So on this day, May 11th in history, Man City won the first division title in '68. They achieved promotion back to the first division in '85, and they played their final match at Main Road in 2003. They also won the Premier League in 2014. So it's kind of weird. I mean, actually, it's not that weird because it's the end of the season, right? Because that's how they line it all up.
No, it is, but
I think it's like almost like a sort of like an Orion's belt, like a stars align kind of thing. Like, what's like? I think we should really talk about the spotty career of Man City and how it's been and really like. It's not like it's every season, is it? It's not like it's every season that Man City wins something.
No,
I think each season they've had a team. They've had to reconstruct a team that has had to win something out of adversity. So I mean, I know I'm a Man City fan, but
that's what the club and the fans will tell you it was known for. Like and it's not dissimilar to West Ham. If you want to go into it, they're so parallel. I mean, for me to have played for both clubs and the similarities between them is frightening, mate. You know, I mean, really back in the 60s and that, they were fairly strong. 60s, 70s, early 70s.
Dennis Law and all that, yeah.
Fairly strong, you know, and then obviously it wasn't until things went pear-shaped until 99, really, when things started to turn around, and then obviously in the 2000s it is what it is today. But, you know, I had the similar thing of leaving Main Road and how the fans felt, and leaving Upton Park and how the fans felt. You know, we've been through similar things with the both clubs. You know, the die-hard fans who they will have a minimum of 5,000 travelling fans. Doesn't matter where you are. You know, whether it's up north in Newcastle, Sunderland, Middlesbrough, whatever, they will still make the journey. You know, you know, long suffering, especially look for West Ham's sake, when you have the likes of Arsenal winning everything and Chelsea winning everything, you know, on your doorstep, and then the dominance of Man United sort of was a big thorn in the side of your next door neighbours, watching them going and taking title after title and European glory and all this. It all adds to it all, you know. It makes it sweeter today with what's happening. If you don't have that pain, you don't know what the pleasure's like.
See,
well,
if you don't know what it's like to lose and don't feel that hurt of losing, you don't enjoy the winning.
See,
I feel like you felt that. Like you're touching on, you felt that with both teams. You felt victory and you felt pain with both teams. What was so? You obviously you played with City against West Ham, and you played with West Ham against City. What was the most memorable game that you played for either side against the other team?
Oh dear, mate. Most memorable game was I was playing for West Ham, and we were playing City. We were playing Newcastle, I think, on a Friday. It was around about the Christmas period. We were playing Newcastle at home on the Friday, and then we were travelling on the Monday. I think it was New Year's Day, to Man City.
Is that
I'm not sure if I got the dates exactly.
Is that a Shearer Newcastle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
So the Friday night, for some reason, whether it was Christmas, Easter period, I think it was around the Christmas period, to play Friday, Monday. But I went out with Noose, with your Uncle Mark, on the Friday, because the Newcastle game got cancelled because the pitch was frozen. So the pitch is frozen. It's not 2 nights before a game, so I wasn't breaking any rules. But we were training, now that the game was cancelled, we were training the next day at Upton Park on the pitch itself, because the training ground was frozen as well. So we were going to do some work at Upton Park on the frozen pitch. As long as it was rolled and flat, we could, you know, you couldn't play a game, but we could train on it. So anyway, I end up going out with Noose on the Friday night. It wasn't a mad one by our standards, to tell you the truth. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, I didn't used to wear a jacket then. About 1 o'clock in the morning, we got out the cab, we got out the taxi at the petrol station to grab a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're literally, I don't know, 500 yards from Noose's house or whatever, and it's 1:30 in the morning, and I've got my hands in my pockets, and we broke into a jog because it was that cold, and I've ended up slipping, falling forwards. I couldn't get my hands out of my pockets, and I've ended up ripping my lip off. I mean, my bottom lip completely off. You know the stringy bit you have in the middle?
Yeah.
Snapped completely. I could put my tongue inside my chin at the bottom, and I was full of gravel. I'd split my lip with my teeth.
I just want to say, just because you've showed me this before, I want anyone listening to grab their lip and feel the middle piece between their teeth, the little weird, like,
with your tongue
or finger,
with your tongue, yeah,
or whatever you want to do. However you play it, we're not judging, you know. But yeah, that middle piece. I now have 6 of them. I do, honestly, because I ended up getting 38 stitches. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just remember you telling me. I remember you telling me as a kid, and sorry again, I just interrupted, but anyone listening, pull your lip out, and there's a middle piece that goes between your chin and the bottom of your two teeth.
Your lip. It attaches your lip to your gum.
Yeah.
So anyway, I fell forward, and my lip is literally, as I've slid along the floor face first, I've ended up with a massive graze under my nose, which took the hairs off my moustache, and a big graze on my chin, but in between I ripped my lip off. So this is like 1:30, coming up to 1:45 in the morning. I've looked at Noose and I'm spitting out gravel. I'm literally, rolling my tongue round inside my chin and spitting out gravel. And I've gone to Noose, does it look okay? I've got training in the morning, how bad does it look? He goes, oh, you look fine. I said, do you think I need a hospital? He goes, nah. And then I felt the massive hole in my lip. And I've gone, oh, shit. I've got to go to the hospital. So anyway, I go to the hospital, and I'm in the ER bit, the emergency bit. And I'm sitting there for 3 hours. And then I'm literally going, nobody would see me. They had to let the beer wear off. Nobody would see me. And I'm sitting there and thinking, I'm going to be late for training. And I haven't slept. Anyway, I turn up for training early, and we're at the ground at Upton Park, and I'm obviously waiting for Harry to come in because I have to explain myself. And he comes in and he sees me. He goes, "Get in my office now." Obviously, didn't believe a word I said any time, to be honest with you. But he's gone. He got Frank Lampard Senior in as well, and a great fellow, Frank Burrows, who was the coach at the time as well, and. He's gone, that's you, you're finished. And he's gone, you'll never play for this club again. You've done it again. Look at you, you've been fighting in a nightclub. I went, no, I slipped and fell over. That was it. I had my hands in my pockets, it was icy. He went, no, you've been bladdered and you've been fighting in a nightclub. And I ended up telling him where to go. And he went, you'll never play for this club again. And then we end up having a screaming match, and John Green, the physio, comes up as I'm backing out the office having a screaming match. I said, Frank, look, you're in the business, you know people who run clubs and pubs. If I've been fighting in a nightclub, you'll hear about it. I said, you're out of order, Harry, and Anyway, the physio says, Bish, you've got to get to the hospital, mate. I went, oh, okay. So he took me to the private clinic, and he said, look, you're going to have surgery, because, it was that bad.
Just to interrupt, sorry, what year was this? Just to give people perspective.
90?
Or how many years into West Ham?
1990?
It was mid-90s.
Mid-90s.
That time, yeah.
So needless to say, you were playing for West Ham again?
I'm playing for West Ham against Man City, at Main Road, yeah.
Right.
But that's the game on the Monday. So we're training Saturday, we're training Sunday, and then travelling Sunday. Right, so
your lips fucked.
I've had my argument with H, and the physio's gone, you've got to go. So when I get to the surgery, to the hospital, the surgeon says, "No, we're gonna have to put you out. You're gonna have to have surgery. We can't do that under local. You're gonna." He literally had to stitch me lip back to me gum in 3 separate rows of 10 stitches. So he did the bottom bit first, then he moved up a bit and did 10 across again, and then moved up again and then did 10 across again, and then put 8 stitches in me gashed lip, right? But I woke up, I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of Laurel and Hardy where he's got the bandage on his head,
Yeah.
and it looks like rabbit ears. Stan's got the bandage.
Yeah, the dentist.
So he did the surgery, right? And I'm thinking, oh shit, I've got to get to training. I woke up the morning after surgery, and I'd actually said to the doctor, I went, okay, just wake me up. When I come round afterwards, I'm going to have to go back because I've got training in the morning. He went, no, you won't be training. I said, well, I've got a game Monday. He went, no. He said, you can't do nothing for a week. He said, you could have a heart attack. He said, the anaesthetic slows your heart rate down. That's what puts you to sleep. He said, so you can't even jog. You can't go for a run. You can't do anything for a week. I went, well, I don't agree with you. So he did the surgery, and I wake up, I don't know, 5, 6 in the morning in the hospital with the bandage on my head and everything. And I discharge myself. I phone a taxi. I discharge myself. Obviously take the bandages off and that. So all you can really see, you can't see I've got a big graze on me under my nose, a big graze on my chin, and obviously you can see the 8 stitches sticking out my lip. And I will post a picture on Twitter this week of it, just to let you see what it really looked like. And I got to the training ground, and I'm early again, and the gates are locked. So I'm standing there, and who's the first person who turns up? Because Harry had told me his last words were, I never want to see you again, right? But I'm there, and then he comes and he stands next to me. He says, what the fuck are you doing here? I said, I've come to fucking train. I'm doing my job. He looked at me and said, I'm disgusted in you. I went, look, I'm not happy neither, but... And anyway, the fella came and opened the gates. He said, wait in my office. By this time, because he didn't want me to see any of the lads. He didn't want me to speak to the lads. He didn't want any... Because the lads, obviously, I didn't train the day before. I never got to see them. I just went to the hospital after I'd been stuck in his office. Yeah. So, but they must have heard what had happened and that. And anyway, I'm turning up. I go in his office. I have the chat with him again. He's gone, what did the doctor say? I said, the doctor said, if I get it in the face with a ball, it'll hurt. I couldn't tell him the truth, could I?
That's a good lie, though.
Well, you know. So he said,
until he goes out and trains.
He said, well, you're not going, you're not playing, you're not training, you're not going out on the field. I said, well, unless you physically stop me, I'm going out on the field. I've come to do my job. That's what I'm here for. I'm not late. You know, I'm not missing training. Shit's happened, but I'm here. I'm not missing training. Doctor said I'm fine. It's just stitches. So, anyway, I'm the last one to get out training, aren't I? At least I think I am. I think I've won Harry and Frank round because they've actually said, okay, get out and train. And then Johnny Moncur fucking runs out with a shin pad strapped to his face. Kicks it all off again, doesn't he? Hey, well, they pummeled me. Frank did anyway. Frank Senior. He tried to break me. I know he did. He tried to make me break down that I couldn't travel and couldn't play. And I didn't. And I don't know how I got through that training session. And I turned up for the game. Well, obviously I travelled straight after the training, and I ended up playing in the game. And I remember us kicking off, and Uwe Rosler looking at me going, what the fuck have you done? You know, it sort of took a second glance at me because my face was all mashed up. But I got through the game. I think I did okay. I was still under anaesthetic though. And I didn't die.
So who knows?
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I mean, first of all, I just wanted to say I'm not the biggest fan of either of the Lampards. And I know I'm going to get some criticism for that, but whatever. All the stories you told about Harry Redknapp through our childhood, growing up, whatever it was, you know, like him hating you, him slaying you, whatever it was, it pretty much was 90% him slaying you. I always since I was a kid, wanted him to be the manager in England.
So did I, mate. Listen,
yeah, and I've hated every single England manager till this day. And I wish he'd been running it since the late 90s. I think we would like that. What was it? The 2002, 2004 Euro team.
Yeah.
Of Scholes, Rooney.
Well, yeah, it would have been. It would have been a different story.
Ferdinand. I think
got the best out of
everyone.
Yeah,
I know, because of what. Yeah, exactly. What I've delved into.
I mean, even years later, it would have been a different story.
Never mind what you've told us, but what I've seen personally, I've always wanted him to be the England manager.
Yeah, me too, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you can say it. I can tell you how many run-ins I had with him. Yeah. But you know what, mate? The man changed my life.
Exactly.
The man changed my life. He resurrected my career at Bournemouth.
He's such a smart individual.
Yeah, and he gave me a freedom as a footballer that I hadn't really had before. You know, you're always given instructions. You know, what you shouldn't do when you're out there. And I swear to you, he was great in that way to me. He just said, "Go and do your stuff." And to have that confidence, for your manager to have that confidence in you, it's just to let you get on with what you're doing, know you're intelligent enough that you will make the right decisions out there most of the time. Just for him to have that confidence in you. Look, towards the end, nobody's going to be happy with a manager when he's not playing there. It's a fact of life. I had a similar scenario with Joe Royle later on. It doesn't mean I don't love him as much. It doesn't mean I didn't think he was a great manager. It doesn't mean I don't love him as a man, which I do. Harry as well. You know, we all have our faults. You know, you can hear all sorts of stories, whatever you want, or whatever rumours, or what's in the press. You know, some of them are true. But as far as playing for them type of people, Joe didn't mind us having a beer. He knew he had to get that dressing room together. Harry sort of, once the foreigners started coming in, sort of changed his outlook on the way footballers should live their lives and how you should take care of yourself. And look, he was right, because that's how it's gone, completely that way. And for the good, some people might say, and that being in question, would you rather be playing today with all that money, or rather be playing back then where you could live your life
with all that fun?
I'd rather have lived my life. You can always get money. If you really want to go out and make money, you'll go out and make money.
All right, but you
can't have that time over again.
There's always the argument, like you look at Cristiano Ronaldo and his. I'm not trying to spread rumors or anything, but his dad was apparently an alcoholic, and that's why he never touched the thing. I could be wrong, but whatever. Cristiano Ronaldo.
There's no similarities, is there?
I'm just saying, Cristiano Ronaldo lives the perfect life, and he knows what it's like to live famous or whatever, and live at that such of a high. Would you, in all due respect, I still put Gascoigne above Cristiano Ronaldo. If you're saying the Premier League to the Premier League, because I think going to La Liga was a escape route for him.
Yeah.
For him to cop out. Obviously, I mean, it's the same thing. Why I always say why Messi should come to the Premier League. I don't give a fuck if he goes to Man United. I don't give a fuck if he goes to Manchester City. I don't give a fuck. He could go to fucking Watford. I don't care.
That's a lot of in one sentence, mate.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, with all due respect, but I just want to see him in the Premier League at the top division. You know, like you see with them, and it's been the same thing. The whole thing about Barcelona and having a problem with Premier League teams the whole way, his whole entire career. How is he
going over him anyway? I'm not.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
You can't knock the man and what he's done now.
Yeah, I know.
Easy.
I know.
Look,
I agree.
We can call it a cop out, but to score the amount of goals he scores, it still takes a hell of a lot of doing, mate, doesn't it?
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, because he has a higher leap, a jump leap than the average NBA player, which is ridiculous. He has more goals than in Champions League than anyone in history. He's broken records that, like, he can do things Messi can't do. He can score from 40 yards with a knuckleball that Messi can't do, but Messi wouldn't try that shot. You know, Messi. You know, it's a different game.
Yeah, but
it's Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid being 5-0 up and him being able to try that shit, you know?
Yeah, and of course it is. And it's also a case of saying more Champions League goals.
Exactly. That's why...
It was walked into the Champions League every season. There's only 2 teams in Spain, you know?
Walked in. That's why, like, obviously, ever since, I think, 1961, no one had ever won a Champions League. John just hit his knee. No one ever won Champions League more than one time in a row, and the actual Champions League, as they called it, no one ever won it more than one time in a row. And Real Madrid did that in 2012, 2013, 2014, I believe. They won it 3 years in a row, and they were the worst team ever. They were the worst Real Madrid team ever.
When I was home, there was a program on called When England Ruled Europe.
I've seen it. Yeah.
It was about Liverpool winning the European Cup.
Yeah.
Forest did it 2.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
seasons.
2.
It was tougher then winning them 2. Forest winning them 2 European Cups than it was for Real Madrid to win 3 consecutive or whatever they did.
This Real Madrid team that won it in the 10s or whatever you want to call it, the
2012, 2013, 2014.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They had the same exact players 4 years prior, and that team was 10 times better than it was.
Well, obviously the competition was just a little more of a joke than it is now. I'm just saying.
I mean, you look at Chelsea 2012, okay?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we won the Champions League, okay? But we didn't deserve to win the Champions League. We weren't the best team in Europe. We were just the luckiest team in Europe at that point.
Was that Drogba?
Drogba. Yeah. Yep. Drogba.
I'm just saying.
That was the same exact time City won the league and West Ham qualified. One of the best years for football for me personally, because of all the teams I support.
Yeah.
Drogba, like, do you remember the Barcelona and the Ramirez chip?
Yeah.
And then Torres? Yeah. And then Gary Neville screaming out his fucking undies.
Yeah.
All
I
that.
was happy for Chelsea then. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
For English teams, you know.
See, I'm like that with Tottenham, but I'm not like that with Man United.
Okay, so
I want Tottenham to proceed, but Man United can go fuck themselves.
All right. Well, we're talking. Yeah. All right. Well, so let's talk about Man City, right? So De Bruyne was only 4 assists away from beating Henry's his assist record, right?
Yeah.
Before the whole COVID.
Yeah, before the league was stopped, and who knows what's going to happen beyond now? Like, I mean, it could go either way.
The things we've heard and the things going around, I don't get the neutral stadiums. I don't know where that comes into it. I don't know whose idea.
They said they would play in Australia.
How pathetic is that?
Yeah, I don't.
You know what?
Wait. Why is that pathetic?
Well, what's the difference with playing at your own ground with no fans?
Oh, because the UK is an island itself.
The point is, like, Australia supposedly has handled this thing.
Well, it's
supposedly has handled this thing really well, and hasn't had many cases.
We're only going to go back when everything's okay to go back. That's the thing. So if it's not okay, I don't want to see them teams flying to Australia playing on neutral. You've got important, massive. It could break a club to get relegated.
Well, that's why.
Don't you at least want that home? That comfort of playing a home game, knowing even without the fans that you're in your stadium.
So here's the thing.
Well, I mean, you look at Liverpool against Barcelona.
Apparently, it doesn't matter. Apparently, 6 clubs have said they will not play on neutral ground, which means in Australia. Probably the bottom. Probably, but they've said they won't play unless relegation isn't an option.
Well, it is that important, though. Obviously.
So here's the thing, though. Okay, so the alternative is to go back, play at home, but they're still not going to play in front of their own crowd.
No, I think what they're saying is they don't really want it at the home venues because you will get the stupid supporters who break all the rules of the social distancing, and they will gather outside the stadium. Now,
outside the stadium, yeah.
Yeah, why would you do that when you know you're not going to get to see the players? But
that's what they're going to do.
You can watch the game on your telly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but people are going to do that anyway, aren't they?
Yo, it's a weird fucking time.
If the footballers themselves are not bright enough to adhere to the rules, what are the idiot fans going to be?
Oh, yeah, 10 times worse.
You know what I mean? So somebody's going to dress up as a steward and take a selfie and say, look, I got in, and post it out there. You know, for a
100%.
There's going to be 100%. There's going to be all sorts of shit going on. But I understand that. But I'd still rather finish it properly with no.
How do you, as the last 6 teams, not go out there and say, "Fuck it, fuck it," literally?
But why wouldn't they finish the league in Australia?
That's what I'm saying.
Ground?
Go to Australia and say, "Fuck it, let's do this shit."
And also, if you're a part of the last 6 teams,
let me prove myself.
Who are the last 3? Who are the extra 3 that aren't? You know, because apparently there's been teams from the division higher up in the division. All right,
but the thing is, if you think the best league on this fucking planet, the Premier League, you think you can just scrape by and say, oh no, we technically deserve this if we're in the last 6?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. You don't. West Ham, you don't.
All right.
You can't exactly say that, you know. Go on. What's your idea?
I think your idea is pretty good, actually.
Well, I actually said, look, I mean, I know the implications of the finishing the season is mainly because of the TV money and what they would have to reimburse the TV companies, which I think they've already been paid in advance, right?
Okay.
They have to reimburse millions and millions and millions. If What I thought, look, if it stops now, to save congestion, to save the next season starting late, what about it finishes as it is, right? We all know Liverpool are champions. City, Leicester, Chelsea, Champions League. Look, my issue with 5th, Man United in the Europa League, you have Sheffield United, who played 1 game less, but they sit below Wolves. So Sheffield United play Man United, because if they win the game in hand, they would have gone to 5th place and gone into the Europa League. So how about Man United and Sheffield United, 2-legged, home and away, behind closed doors, for the Europa League berth, right? If next season City get pulled out the Champions League, the winner of that game with Sheffield United and Man U goes into the Champions League. And then Wolves get the chance to play the team who lost, because Wolves are now sitting 1 behind Man U right now in 6th. Wolves get to play that team for who goes into the Europa League. Now listen, the interesting bit, and it would make for good television, it still would be exciting, the bottom 6, 6th plays the bottom, who is Brighton against Norwich.
6 plays 20.
2 legs. 2 legs, yeah. Then I think it'll be West Ham, Watford, and then Bournemouth, Aston Villa. So West Ham, who are 5th from bottom, will play the 2nd of bottom.
Yeah.
2 legs. Winner stays up.
And 3rd from bottom will play 4th from bottom.
Yeah. Loser gets relegated. And then
I couldn't agree more.
A limited amount of games.
I couldn't agree more. Go on.
Right. The Championship stays as it is. Leeds are a point ahead. West Brom go up in 2nd. Their playoff positions are set as they are now. There's no games in hand. Nobody can come in. Nobody can fall out. They play theirs as they normally do, with 2 semi-finals and a final. That, for me, would solve the problem if the money
100%
wasn't the biggest issue. Then the Champions 100%. League teams, well, it's only Man City really who are still in there. I know Chelsea have got a 3-0 deficit to they will be able to get on with that, with the Champions League. Or at least start preparing for the following season.
100%.
I like that idea. What I liked also
how do you finish off the Champions League, though?
How do you finish off the Champions League? Behind closed doors.
One game leg.
It's almost the semi-finals. So you're not that far off.
Yeah, it's going to be down to the last 8, isn't it? After
almost.
Second legs.
Bayern Munich are 3-0 up against Chelsea away.
Yeah. Well,
and when this whole shit happened, I was like, I'm kind of glad. You know?
Well, that's obviously done.
I'm kind of glad.
Well, look, let them find it. Once
Liverpool just got knocked out by Let's Go, so what's going on?
Once they played the second leg, let them decide the format to finish it.
Yeah, I think it's a one-game format. Yeah.
Let them decide.
Look, his
on neutral ground.
Here's my thing.
Yeah, because it's European.
I'm fine saying, like, let's say Bayern Munich are 3-0 up against Chelsea. I'm fine going on neutral ground and going, hey, you're 3-0 down, go fucking play them. I'm completely fine with that.
Like, I was trying to look.
I'm not saying that's done and dusted because I don't think Bayern Munich are the best.
It is done and dusted, dude.
Nah, I'm not saying
Chelsea.
I'm not saying I'm not saying a Liverpool Barcelona thing isn't going to happen.
It's Chelsea.
But look, first and foremost,
don't downplay him that fucking much, you know. We beat him in 2012, so
yeah, 2012 is different than now.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, look at the team now, dude.
Yeah.
Look, who's your striker? Mason Mount. Is Mason Mount gonna win the game? No,
my balls are still tight thinking about this game. So,
all right. First and foremost, it's got to be safe. All the players need to be tested.
1,000%. 1,000%.
If there's
tested,
anything whatsoever, you play somebody else.
Tested and isolated 3 days before the game.
This is how it's gone now. I read something online that Karen Brady said. She said, they may be able to come back at such a point, but we will have to disinfect corner flags, goal posts, and maybe even disinfect the grass. What is it coming to? What? You know what? If it's coming to that...
Isn't it fake grass? The grass isn't real.
No, but and they've gone, okay, phase 1 of the training... There can be small groups, but they can't challenge, no headers, and all this. What is the point of coming back if you can't train properly? Don't come back until you can train properly.
No, that's not a real solution.
If that's the case. But you know what's doing my head in right now? There is no answer. We can all say and have an opinion, but there isn't an answer.
There isn't a correct one.
Right, but that's not an answer.
The correct one. There is some that would solve multiple discussions, but there isn't a full...
Yeah, there isn't. Somebody's got to take charge and say, this is it. Don't care what you say.
Unfortunately,
there's too many factions. Yeah. Everybody's going to get a vote. There has to be so many votes. And then you've got the TV money, and then you've got the fans aren't happy that they're not going to be able to watch it. And then you're saying neutral grounds,
and then you're also talking about the most corrupted sport on this fucking planet. It doesn't come close to horse racing, mate. I don't know. All right, maybe they don't make enough, but like this is where the most money is. To where people will go. The higher ups will go, oh, how do I make as much money as possible?
I don't think so, man. I think so. Look, they just had, and it's not corrupt. You look
at the Euros. Where's all the money?
Okay, I don't know. I literally don't know.
I think the best thing to
from
come
FIFA.
Out of this, I think the best thing to come out of this is they're talking about our friends, the VAR souls.
Yeah.
Which will give us some more content.
I feel like I miss it.
I know.
VAR.
I miss the VAR souls. we were ragging on them so hard. We've got nothing to go at now.
I know. We ended up. Look, we lost VAR souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
VAR shows of themselves. One thing I did want to bring up too is I know this is a football cup podcast, but on Saturday they had the UFC in Jacksonville, just a couple hours north of where we are, and that worked out fine, and it was incredible.
You had to stay 6 feet apart from each other, though.
Yeah, so they couldn't punch each other.
It's funny, some of them wore masks walking down to the ring and then took the masks off.
Send nasty texts to each other.
Yeah. But it was honestly such a good night. It was like, me and Connor watched it.
It felt normal.
It was.
It felt normal.
Listen. You can have your MMA podcast.
Well, I'm just no. I'm just saying, like that's a catalyst of sports, isn't it? Because it's like. They were the first sport to do it.
Tennis. So why did tennis stop?
Because it's shit.
Because no, tennis is one of the biggest sports on the fucking planet. Why did they stop when no one's interacting with each
Well, I
other.
don't know. I don't know about tennis, but I'm just saying. The UFC did it.
Look.
Football can do it. You know.
Yeah, let's hope.
Safely. I'm saying safely. I don't. They shouldn't just
I'm
jump
all
back
about-
into it.
I'm all about safely.
Yeah, when they're talking about June the 1st, let's hope we can get to that, because in all honesty, mate, I know we knock it a bit, and you know, we have a pop at the way the game's changing that, but I miss it like mad.
Of course.
Yeah,
too, mate.
100%.
And I don't care whether it was there. There's nothing like going to a stadium, mate, and watching a game live, but I'd settle for just sitting in my house and watching it on a telly. My Saturday mornings are totally different now, and you know, I miss it like mad.
What are you doing?
It became a routine, mate, didn't it? You know, it didn't matter how bladdered you were on the Friday night. You were up at 7 o'clock.
100%.
For the first game, you know.
What replaced the football for you?
Well,
He's been doing pain.
quarantine.
Yeah,
Quarantine first, and then the last
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Saturdays. Well, we're opening an army, mate. The golf course is on.
I know, but I'm just saying, like over here in Florida, we'd wake up like 7 a.m. and football would be on.
Yeah.
For you personally, what replaced that?
Well, I started playing online poker, to be honest with you, which was great for me.
Dad, not talking about you gambling. You've been fucking paying, and you've been actually doing something else.
Well, what you want me to do?
Other
You
than a
think that's
bad
embarrassing?
habit.
No.
You think it's embarrassing having a skill?
No, I'm trying to say that you've actually been paying, and you're like, oh yeah, I've been losing bets over here.
You actually had that really cool Winston Churchill painting. I know you painted that before the
Yeah, that was
the quarantine. But what did you do? What did you do recently? You did one recently.
Was that because of Peaky Blinders
Oh, I
or
did
no?
one, yeah, for a friend's wife, yeah, my mate's wife, Dave Tobin. I think Ben will be listening. You know Ben, don't you?
Ben Tobin, yeah. Oh yeah, he's fucking hilarious.
I wondered if he's listening, as his mum said, how lovely the painting is I did for her.
We'll post a picture.
It was called Stormy Sunset.
Is that what you called it?
What do you mean it's called? You called it Stormy Sunset.
Yeah, well, no, it called itself actually. It's called itself.
Okay.
I haven't put it out there. I haven't showed anyone.
Well, we should post a picture.
Well, you can if you want.
I don't have one.
To you, didn't I?
Depends how good it is.
I did send it to you, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's in my trash folder. I'll pull it out.
I had to give it away because if I didn't, every time I looked at it, I'd have to change it.
Yeah.
It's one of the things when you do a painting, I don't really want to look at them no more because I'll find something.
You want to touch it up.
I have to go back.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, yeah, I did a couple of paintings. Yeah, you're right. To be fair.
Well, yeah.
It's not,
and they were lovely. From what
It's not.
I hate complimenting you. I hate complimenting you, but they were lovely.
Thanks, mate. Well, you're a bit of a.
All right, anyway, no. Anyway,
I appreciate it.
let's
I really
forget.
appreciate it.
Let's forget that. Anyway.
All right, so get away from that, and look, the end scenario is let's keep our fingers crossed. You know, I mean, it doesn't look like it's letting up. It's never going to go away for me. It's always going to rear its head again in the future, and I'm just surprised we wasn't really prepared for something like this. Where are all the brains in the world? Where have they all gone? Didn't they see all this coming? And didn't they have a contingency plan? You know, you'd think with the amount of intelligent people and, you know, all the facilities we have to find out these things that, you know, there's been a threat of it for years and years. Why wasn't we ready? Why wasn't sport ready? You know?
I think, yeah. I think it's a beautiful thing to realize, though, that nature will always surprise us. And it will always be like, guess what, motherfucker?
Yeah.
You know, like we can never. I mean,
the ozone
where are all the beautiful minds there? They're doing what they can do. It is what it is. I mean, you know, we're all sit here as fucked as everybody else, and it's kind of funny, you know.
Let's hope the MMA has broke the ice and sports will come back.
I hope so.
I'm prepared to watch anything right now. You know, I'd watch friggin' NASCAR if I had to.
Well,
just as long as the sun. I've been.
I wouldn't watch NASCAR.
Filling my time with golf tournaments that I've watched already.
Yeah.
Still watching them for 4 hours. You know.
Yeah. Well, look.
And plus, I did play 5 days out of 7.
Yeah.
A week just gone by. As soon as they opened the courses, I was out there hitting me golf balls into the lakes and woods.
Well, look, because life's starting to get back to normal, and hopefully we can reach that normality, and hopefully we can.
We'll get back to talking football matches and what we've seen at the weekend. Eh?
Yeah, because
get a couple more guests on.
Yeah. Well, somehow we filled this without a match, and it's been solid.
It's been good, mate. Yeah, I've enjoyed it tonight. I've enjoyed it, mate.
Yeah.
All right, sunshine.
All right, guys.
It's been great. Maybe I'll get up there next weekend. Okay.
Yeah, you definitely should. So, guys, I appreciate you listening. If anyone wants to join in, you can go to 5pintsin.com and you'll reach our podcast page. I'm sure you're already there if you're listening to this. But we're on Facebook, Instagram. We're also on Twitter. Thanks for listening, guys. Connor, Dad, thanks for joining in.
See ya.
We'll talk to you guys soon, all right?
Yeah, see ya.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Oh, man.
Bye.